Buenos dias. It is Wednesday, January 14th, 2014. I think we have a quorum. We will begin our City Council agenda meeting for today. We will begin with our open microphone speakers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Your next speaker, Albert Navafar. Mr. Navafar will be followed by Hank Black and William Hopkins.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. When I refer to you, I refer to the entire City Council here. We have a right to accept that our elected leaders are ethical, trustworthy, and responsible, only representing the best interests of the people. I think you betrayed the trust bestowed on you as a public official by allowing Uber to operate freely as they wish, and degraded the market for the past 3.5 years, that we didn't have enough insult and assault on an industry. Now you compliment them another 6 months to continue to operate. Unlawful interference with a line of business of the industry, not imposing the rules and regulation, allowing Uber to establish their goal, damaging the industry. 300 companies comply and 4 don't. Insurance? No. Uber aches free to operate because they are part-timer, according to the committee. 15 lawsuits, new 3 federal lawsuits has been filed against Uber. Criminal activities all over the world. It's good qualification for them to get into our industry. 2/3 of the world population of the world is in Asia. Reject Uber. Misqualification of independent contractor is a federal law violation. Tortious interference by you and Uber. Surcharges, $250 for 3 miles they charge on a New Year's Eve, while the rest of the industry stood online and didn't make any money. It could have made $2,000 extra for each company. Using apps as a weapon, as a terror, by endangering the livelihood of the industry. 80% of the police fatality is in traffic related. Uber drivers endanger others by not being able to focus, and recently in New York a couple died because the driver was taxiing or whatever, using the GPS. Economical damage to the city of Dallas and the state, where every dollar can go around for about 8-10 times, and you can text. That's out of the door. Not playing favor to Uber by repeating what Uber said. We want to establish a competitive market, and you all repeated that over and over. Is the City Council lobbying for Uber, accepting promos, riding with Uber when violation of the rules, when they're in violation of the rules, communicating by email and in person while violation of the rules and regulation is in place? Do you have...
Thank you, Mr. Navafar.
Okay, that's fine.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Good morning. It's 9/11. I think we have a quorum. If the City Council could take their seats. And all the other people in suits up here in the front. I bet all these people with suits up in the front could take a seat. Thank you. With that, we will we'll begin with our open microphone speakers. Ms. Rios.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Your speakers are going to be Kermit Mitchell, Carter Jebb, Regina Bergia, Sandy Mosley, Dolores Phillips, and Cynthia Smith.
Carter Jebb.
Carter Jebb. If anybody has handouts or they're going to do a visual presentation using our equipment, it's important that you be prepared and ready. As trying to distribute the information or connect the information, your equipment does affect your speaking time. 3 minutes, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Mayor, council members. I'm here to speak to you. My name is Andrew Jebb, 5646 Milton Dallas 75206. I'm here to speak to you today about Uber, past, present, and future. The past. We understand that due to the advent of technology, many businesses will not be able to harness that coming technology and therefore must suffer the result, inevitably death, of the business. Yes, Uber saw a weakness in the marketplace and brilliantly exploited it with incredible technology. However, being able to cleverly dodge the rules, legislation, and all legal manners so as to monopolize control over the industry is entirely outside the moral compass. It's so obvious to everyone in the transportation industry that the Council has passed the rules and regulations which were adopted over 30 years ago from different states to appear as intellectual decision makers at the time. Charging late fees for a license when Uber drivers are not accountable for any such fees is just completely lopsided and out of balance with logic. There has been no account of an UberX passenger being involved in an accident, but how long is that to last? You are not authorized to charge a fee for more than the manufacturer's cost. We have an obligation to our fellow man to conduct business in a fair and moral manner. Uber ignores such practices. How long can we afford to turn a blind eye to such corrupt business practices? The present. The decision to allow Uber in the DFW airports without having any permits but yet still requiring the transportation industry to do so is indeed a double standard. Why is Uber allowed to ignore the rules and also create rules and procedures of their own and not be held accountable? The limo drivers at DFW and Love Field are all but extinct, and as of last month's new policy and implementations. I understand the concept of competition in the free market, but this is clearly planned execution. If Uber takes control of the entire city's transportation and is calling all the shots, why do we need these fees and regulations? I ask that you please have your resourceful legal department search the law regarding the illegal fees you and the DFW transportation had collected for the past 30 years. The future. Every man is independent of all laws except for those prescribed by nature. We are indeed all sovereign beings. The ultimate agenda of Uber CEO Travis Kalanick has blatantly stated he's to completely control all aspects of the transportation industry. If you listen to anything that I've said, please listen to this. What you need to understand is that which has already begun. There will be a mileage tax per mile instituted on every vehicle in the near future. As of 2014, all vehicles have had a mandatory black box installed in order to implement this mileage tax, as well as total vehicular monitoring, including the monitoring of all private conversations taking place within said vehicle. Insurance rates will then strategically surge, forcing drivers to abandon their vehicles due to lack of affordability. The advent of completely automated driverless cars has already begun, and these actions, which I assure you are already in motion, will give Uber the opportunity on all transportation in the not-so-distant future. As a truth seeker, I ask you not to take my word for it, but to do the research for yourself. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jebb. Good morning. It's a 9/11. I will call the Dallas City Council briefing meeting to order. Today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2015. It is now 9:11 a.m. Good to see you all on this day. With that, we will begin our open microphone speakers. Thank you, Council.
Good morning. Your open microphone speakers will begin with Rosemary Rieger, Albert Navafar, Ross Ibrahim, Quentin McClellan, and Ben Tefera.
Good morning. My name is Albert Navafar. Notification of legal responsibility is the first essential of the due process of law. Silence only can be equated where fraud where there is a legal and moral duty to speak, or when an inquiry left unanswered would be intentionally misleading. It is not the function of our city government to keep city from falling into an error. It is the function of the citizen to keep the city from falling into error. It is a matter of fact, evidence, and laws. Double standard exists when it's come to Uber. For many years, we endured the constant attack, assault, and insult by your city workers pretending that they're doing their job, and they become the judges, the prosecutor, and legislators. By those who insisted for the best interest of the public, and we become tolerant out of fear of the law, rules, regulation, custom code, city ordinance, and statutory laws, that they are in fact inferior to the law of the land, our common law, and our Constitution right. It is a public knowledge that rule and regulation and laws become ineffective by allowing Uber to run the city government. 300 companies comply with the rules and regulations except Uber. You are collecting over and above the manufacturer cost fees for permits. It's prohibited by law. You're not authorized to collect. So I propose that the investigation by your legal department will be conducted, because everyone that's sitting in this room have 10 attorneys at the city of Dallas. They can look it up. You have the resources. And a great deal of damage that you impose millions of dollars to city loss in revenue. For every dollar that's spent in Dallas, you collect 100% tax. If it's circled 8 to 12%. So I don't understand why you want to give your rights to the taxes and have Uber prosper. Now they're hiring another 5,000 employees. Does our system really, does our industry really need more employees that work for less than a minimum wage? I need an answer.
Thank you.
Can your legal department look into what the fees that you're collecting illegally?
Thank you.
That's not an answer, Mr. Mayor.
That's my answer. Thank you. I appreciate you coming.
You're welcome.
Ross Ibrahim,